Try to crush two birds with one stone. Right now, there's a guy named Tommy White. He's been missing since October 14th. I did message the number that's on the screenshot for this morning. Hopefully they find him. Tommy White, Tillamook, Oregon. Search intensifies for missing 21-year-old Tillamook County man last seen in Garibaldi. Here's another one from the Headlight Herald from 18 hours ago. 21-year-old Garibaldi man missing. He left home distraught, family says. He looks familiar. Yep. Lots of people give a shit about Tommy White. There's a lot of people trying to find him. A lot of people looking for him. Here's one of my videos about him even. Oh, hell. Oh. He's been missing since the 14th. He's 21 years of age. He's got light brown or dark blonde hair, blue eyes. I think it said he's like 5'6". Let's hope he's found. Let's hope he wasn't one of those assholes last night that I recorded screaming the N-word. Chances are pretty good since he left distraught. He was just trying to get the fuck away from people. But also, that doesn't mean that's what happened. I mean, look at Natalie Bollinger. What do people want to keep on telling me? Oh, dude, she probably just went out fucking around with her friends, got drunk, and fucking passed out at her friend's house. It's going to be all right. Well, it wasn't all right, was it? Nope. She got a 9mm through her fucking head. Now let's talk about Angry Mary. Who's this Angry Mary lady? Well, there's a lady here in town. Her name's Mary. And she was nice when I first got here. She smiled and even laughed about stuff. Now, when you've got a job where you work in customer service, it's probably to your benefit to not be shitty to the customers, to not talk shitty to the customers, to not bring a shitty goddamn attitude to work every day. There's a lot of volunteers here who only volunteer because they feel like they're expected to. The problem is when you've got a volunteer who feels like they're expected to do something, it's not really something they want to do. And that oozes out of them in the way that they talk to the homeless people here. Some of these folks are there because they really do care. Some of them are there because the church expects it. Well, that's a horrible reason for showing up. You know how it feels when we go there? We're sent there for food, for hope. We get the food and we get some shitty attitude with it. Fuck. You don't need to fucking snap at us. We're fucking human beings, not goddamn dogs. You can talk to us like we're people, not at us like we're dogs. If you're gonna fucking volunteer, don't be a fucking piece of shit, or don't fucking volunteer. We're all used to getting talked down to, talked over, and fucking snapped at by everybody. You'd think that going to a fucking church would be the one place where we're not fucking treated like shit. Talked down to like we're fucking animals. But that's not the case. You also see, I try real hard to be as pleasant as I can. When those people are being shitty like that, fuck yes, I record it. Why the hell wouldn't I? And you can also tell the difference between people who are like that and people who are genuinely caring, genuinely there because they give a shit about you. There's one lady over there at the First Christian Church. She's about 6 foot tall. She's taller than me by quite a bit. She got gray hair, curly, with glasses, and a real shitty fucking attitude. Like her favorite thing is to fucking snap at homeless people. Holy shit! Talk to us like we're fucking people, bitch! Don't fucking volunteer if all you're gonna do is treat people like shit. I mean, really, the only thing that she's not doing that's completely fucked other than that, at least she's not throwing the food on the table and saying, here's your fucking food, asshole. But her tone shows that a lot of the time that's what she'd like to be fucking doing. She doesn't want to fucking serve us. And I didn't ask her to be my servant. I get that I don't pay her. I get that she doesn't have to show up. But you know what? If you're going to show up and treat people like shit, don't fucking show up. Now, this whole time here, have I actually been talking about Mary? No, most of it has been talking about that lady at the First Christian Church. Now, Mary, I know her from one of the churches because she volunteered. I haven't seen her in a while. But I also see her at work. And for about the last, I don't know, probably 6 months, she's just had a generally shitty fucking attitude and a generally shitty fucking tone. Fuck, that'd drive a motherfucker to drink, and she does it day in and day out. Just shitty attitude, shitty attitude, shitty attitude. And a lot of people try to be nice to her. They really do. She gets real snappy and real bossy now. Just not in a pleasant way. Now, I do like things a certain way. That much is true, but that's why I go to places that'll serve me in that certain way. If you go to a pizza place and you ask for a medium pizza with pepperoni and extra cheese, and you pay for a medium pizza with pepperoni and extra cheese, and you get your pizza, it's not a medium, it's a small. Not only is it a small that you paid full price for, but there's no pepperonis and barely any cheese. Is that a business you're going to go back to? Well, that depends on how well you like the other people there. Now, I've heard this lady snap at multiple people in the last month for shit that they did not do anything fucking wrong. She was just having a shitty fucking day and brought it to work and fucking treated other people like shit because she brought it to fucking work. I don't want to go buy anything from the lady. Fucked up thing is I like her. I like both of her sisters more. But her sisters talk to me like I'm a person. When you work in customer service, it's probably a good idea to actually serve the customers, to actually give them what they paid for. I don't mind being an asshole to somebody who's an asshole to me, even in a professional setting. I mind my P's and Q's to the best of my ability, but when your shitty attitude starts running the risk of getting innocent people harmed or injured, when your attitude makes it so that people don't want to go to your business and buy stuff from you, when your attitude results in homeless people outside of your store crying because you fucking treated them like shit, you shouldn't be in fucking customer service, and you don't have a valid excuse. If you're pregnant and you're treating people like shit, that's still not a valid excuse. If it's that time of the month, it's still not a valid excuse. Now, I don't know how many women have done extremely fucked up shit to their boyfriends, their husbands, their brothers, their fathers. And then those women want to use the excuse of it's that time of the month. So women use this excuse at us often. It's that time of the month. It's that time of the month. So then, well, we just get used to every time that she treats us like shit for no fucking reason. It must be that time of the month. But you can't say that. You've got a dick. You can't say to her, it must be that time of the month. When you were...
You mad?
Do what?
You mad?
Mad? Yeah, but not at you. I have had to deal with a lot of racist little assholes here. They called me about every racist name in the book. They chucked pumpkins at my vehicle and eggs and kicked my car and all sorts of other stuff. One guy's assaulted me 6 times.
You check already?
Haven't been able to. That guy, Gary, he was supposed to come down yesterday and help me, and he didn't get back a hold of me. I can't even get my car started right now. Let me show you.
You talking on the phone?
I was talking on my YouTube channel. There's a guy who's missing from here, trying to help find him. There's also a lady here who's real mean, who I'm speaking out about. Yeah, I went to sleep last night. I intended on just charging up my phone a little bit and then going to sleep. But I went to sleep while I still had my car on and my phone was still charging. So I
Design.
Yep. That's right. There was a guy over here this morning. He said to come over around 9:30. He'd help me push start it if I couldn't get any help. So I got it. I got a sock for an air filter. A gentleman wants to try to hook me up buying and selling cars, which is a really good idea, actually. It'd be a better idea if I was any good at mechanicking. But, well, like I said, it's been primarily brown folks have been taking care of me. Hispanic folks, Native Americans, they seem to have more of a family-oriented society, and that leads to more humanity. It might take a couple minutes. Yes, sir. Nice!
Oscar.
Down off of here. Thank you, Samuel. I don't want to be an asshole or racist and pretend that all white people are bad to me, because they're not. But it seems to me that all the Hispanic folks that I run into, they see a problem and they want to fix it. And it doesn't take long, so they fix it. I'm kind of the same way, but without a family, you know? Let's see what time it is. 9:18. So I think I'm gonna go check on that towing place. Check on the vehicles there. I was gonna do that last week. I was gonna do it yesterday. I was gonna do it the day before yesterday. But of course, it's the whole hurry up and wait thing. If I'm not here and people come by, then they say, "Oh, well, I was there, you weren't." They got my number, and I did message them. Now let's get back to Angry Mary. I don't know what her validation is for the hostility, but it is hostility. And of course, if I'm going there and I'm paying for a medium pizza with pepperonis and extra cheese, I'd like a medium pizza with pepperoni and extra cheese. I'm not there for a small pizza with with a little bit of cheese on it. I didn't pay for a small pizza with a little bit of cheese on it. Now, of course, there's like 8 different Marys I know in this town, so that makes it complicated too, right? Not so much. Anyway, let's turn on the car and we'll go fill up some gas on that Shell gas station card that Christy gave me yesterday. Happy birthday to me, right? Now, there's a lot of people that they just have an off day. But how much leeway do you give them? Do you let them have an off day? I hope so, because we're all going to have them. We're all going to have that day where we had to show up to work before we had our coffee. Or we had to show up before we had our breakfast. Or we got to show up even though we were up all night with somebody who was sick. Or some neighbor was beating on her husband until 4 o'clock in the morning. Or some husband was screaming at his wife until 4 o'clock in the morning. Life fucking happens, don't it? I don't hate Mary. Not even a little bit. But goddamn, I get sick of the fucking attitude. Of course, today people are just glad anybody even shows up. It don't matter if you got a shitty attitude, at least you fucking showed up. When you're 6 people short of a 12-man crew, yeah, that 7th person who shows up with a shitty fucking attitude, at least they showed up. One person with a shitty attitude on a job site can, well, destroy your ability to get anything done. But having somebody with a shitty attitude on the job site who's at least there, at least doing something, well, yeah, you're glad, even if they're fucking up the orders at the pizza place. Even if they accidentally pop in some 10-penny nails instead of 3 1/4-inch screws into your decking. Sometimes you need 3 1/4-inch screws. That's what it calls for. You use a 10-penny nail, you stick that fucker in there, you get a little bit of moisture, and next thing you know, the wood's warping and pulling the nails out. There's a reason why in some places you can get away with nails, some places you can't. Here in Oregon, nails are not a good idea for anything exterior. Arizona, you can use nails for pretty much everything. The stuff in Arizona ain't likely to get so wet that it warps. Now with Angry Mary, she's been angry for about 6 months. And for a little bit there, I thought maybe she was angry at me. But no, she's just angry at the world. And there's a lot of people, a lot of her coworkers, they ask her how she's doing, if she's all right. Of course she's not. If she was all right, she wouldn't be bringing that shitty attitude to work. But also, women are allowed to. That's part of the getting attention thing. How do women get attention versus how do men get attention? A man tries to get attention by being direct, but being kind about it. Still trying to be direct. Then we get talked over and talked over and talked over and talked over, and we are still direct. Except we get louder. And we can get a lot louder. We're not being heard. We will try harder to get heard by speaking up. When a male is abused and he starts speaking up, it's hard to shut him the hell up, isn't it? Trauma responses for men are only slightly different from those of women. But also, we've taught women how to manipulate. Well, instead of telling somebody that you got a problem and asking them for help, you pout and scream and shout and whine and moan and pout and get a shitty attitude and snap at the customers until one of your bosses shows up and gives you some leeway. If you've worked there a while, or you got a really cool boss, or both, your boss is going to try to understand. If you haven't been there long, you'll get canned for that kind of behavior. They'll fire you immediately for those sorts of behaviors. And no boss is going to allow somebody to be that shitty to customers for 6 fucking months. I mean, I get it if you're short-staffed every single day for 6 months, that you got to have somebody in that position. Now, why is it that this angry Mary is angry at work and showing outward signs of being angry? Because unlike a man, she's not taught that she's going to be punished for showing emotions. Also, unlike a man, obviously she doesn't get that speech about how you don't take your bullshit to fucking work, especially not every fucking day. You don't take it out on the customers. You want to show that you're doing a good job and you're business-minded. Well, if you was business-minded, keep in mind that you're in the business of customer service. Being shitty to the customers is not being business-minded. It's a good way to eat up all your profits. Now, more than one person said that they're not going to go back to that place because of Angry Mary. Now, don't get me wrong. I've only heard 2 or 3 people say that. Only 2 or 3. But most of us don't talk about Mary. Most of us don't talk about the business that she works at, except for the people who have been kicked out of there. But if 2 or 3 people have made mention to me about how they're not going back because of her shitty attitude, constant shitty attitude, constantly looking for excuses to have a shitty attitude. And women are taught to haw and huff and puff and scoff and play like they're fucking offended at every goddamn thing. Nobody wants to be around you. Nobody wants to be around you. You are offended by fucking everything. And we're not talking about serious issues here, like missing people or murder. We're talking about someone who's feeling sorry for themselves, and a lot of us do that, don't we? Even I feel sorry for myself. Absolutely. I have bad days, absolutely. And even though every time I walk into that place, I'm thinking about blowing my fucking head off, I show up, I try to make jokes, I try to be pleasant. I try to lift the spirits. Whatever Angry Mary is angry about. As a man, I'm not allowed to say nothing. I'm also not her spouse. I'm not her brother. I'm not her dad. These are the men who are sort of allowed to say, well, except for her spouse. We all know that marriage is a one-way downhill spiral for men. I don't know very many women that don't expect their husband to change completely 360 degrees with the whole, oh, well, if you'd love me, you'd change. Well, if you loved him enough to marry him, then why would you want him to change afterwards? He was good enough before you were married, good enough as he was for you to get married, and now you have expectations of him. But you don't want to have any of them expectations back. You want him to do the honey-do list, but you don't want to cook dinner. You want him to fix the garage and the front porch, but you don't want to cook fucking dinner. You want him to pay for your car, even though you have a job and can pay for it yourself, but you won't cook fucking dinner. Your husband gets home from work, changes shitty diapers that you didn't change because you're busy getting drunk and feeling sorry for yourself. He bathes the kids and then cooks them some fucking dinner. And you complain that they're having to eat dinner late. Well, you know, there's a father there who's doing his job as a man, and he's doing his job as a woman. He's doing his job as a father, and he's doing his job as a mother. He's doing his job as a parent. Well, you're destroying your own goddamn family. The problem is that we've taught women to seek negative attention, to seek it in negative ways. And when negative things happen because she intentionally put herself in a negative situation, it's automatically always a man's fault, isn't it? It's a man's fault every time you screw up, isn't it? Now, if you're taking that attitude to work, and you're talking somewhat nicely to women and just being outright shitty to men, you're being a sexist fucking cunt, and I don't want to go fucking see you. I don't want to buy anything from you. If you're going to fuck up my order intentionally every time I go in there, yeah, I'm not going to be fucking happy about that. Also, I'm not rich. If I pay for a pineapple upside down cake and it costs me 35 fucking bucks, and instead of a pineapple upside down cake, I get a chunk of wood with some pineapples on top of it. Yeah, it's not a pineapple upside down cake. If I wanted sliced pineapples, I'd just buy a can of sliced fucking pineapples. Guaranteed it wouldn't cost me 30 fucking bucks. They got a slab of wood in there. Cutting board worked just as good as any other slab of wood. I could buy a cutting board and some pineapples to put on top of it and do exactly the same thing for less than 10 bucks. Are you getting what you paid for? A lot of guys that I know, they have the most loving girlfriends in the whole world, the most fun to be around, just a great, great, great time to be around these people until marriage. And then these women become possessive and domineering and outright hateful and fucking hostile. Because now there's the expectations of he owes it to you as his wife to treat you like a queen while you treat him like a fucking janitor. Now, when you're projecting that at work, and you're also taking advantage of the work shortage, because you know that shit don't fly at any fucking business. Now, Mary, some of the employees there, if they acted like she did, she would absolutely complain to the manager. If she has the power, she'll write them up. She doesn't stop to recognize that she's got a shittier fucking attitude than all those other people. Way shittier. She's got a coworker that's business minded in the way that she wants her bosses to see her as somebody who's actually there to work. You don't have to have a shitty attitude to show that you're there to work. Matter of fact, it's a lot better if you're pleasant. There's a lady named Amber. She doesn't really talk to me, but she doesn't give me any problems. And she's sweet and pleasant. When she goes and talks to the other employees, she talks real fucking nice. Now with Angry Mary, just while I've been there, which isn't very long, I've heard at least 3 of her coworkers who are in the upper echelon of the business come and try to make a connection with her and try to do so on such a kind human level. It's pretty obvious that they have recognized her work performance dropping. It's obvious that they have recognized that and that they're trying their best to be nice to this young lady, to try to help her to keep her job, to try to understand her situation, to try to work with her. But they can't work with her shitty attitude. Customers are complaining to other customers about her shitty attitude. Customers are complaining to homeless people about her shitty attitude. Even people in houses. Yeah, only one of the people that complained at me was in a house. And you guys don't give a shit about any of the people who are homeless. So let's just focus on the person in a house. A homeless person going in there, they're going to try buying the cheapest thing on the menu so they don't matter as much, right? What about that person in a house who gets an $11 drink for their wife and a fucking $11 drink for themselves? They spent $22. You still had a shitty attitude with them. Now, you still say the nice things you're supposed to say. You just say them with a shitty fucking tone. Moral of the story, I don't hate Angry Mary. What I hate is getting treated with a shitty fucking attitude and not getting what I paid for. If I gotta pay extra to have pepperonis, I'm willing to pay extra for them pepperonis or I wouldn't have asked for them. If I want extra cheese, I'm willing to pay for that extra cheese or I wouldn't have asked for it. But also when somebody's got a shitty attitude like that and they fuck up your order, you don't say nothing. You have to recognize at that point that you're a homeless, disabled man, and this is a woman who's at a business. Nobody's going to give a fuck what you got to say. You're a dude who's homeless. Now, these other people who are complaining, are they just going to continue complaining around town to random people about how Mary is shitty at customer service? Until there's an avalanche of people going, hey, she's fucking shitty at customer service. Well, why don't those people, I don't know, complain to the right people? Because you don't know who the right people are? Well, I guess that could be a valid excuse. Do you bother to find out who those people are? The other thing is, are you in a position where you're allowed to speak up? A homeless person? No, we're not in a position where we're allowed to speak up. Especially if we're men. for homeless people, it's generally just assumed to be our fault. Now, in some of these situations, people have actually seen what's going on with their own two eyes and heard it with their own two ears, and they don't have the luxury of believing that it didn't happen because they were there. A lot of people don't have the luxury of pretending that situation with Jamie in the Dalles, Oregon. A lot of people don't have the luxury of pretending that didn't happen because they saw the video. They do have the luxury as Americans to pretend they didn't see anything. But that doesn't stop me from telling the truth, recording the truth, and showing the truth. Did I mention showing the truth? Also, I might have forgotten showing the truth. You like that? We'll push that extra little bit, just that extra little bit. When it comes to Angry Mary, I'll just accept the fucked up order. And I'll just wait until she's not working and order from someone else next time. Now, when you work with 2 or 3 other coworkers in the same area, you know, those other 2 or 3 coworkers might be all right. And one of them might ring me up. One of them might make my drink. And I might get what I want. One of them might make my pizza. I might get what I want. One of them might make my hamburger. So I might get what I want. Then again, you might exercise your shitty attitude in your position of power and ask them not to. So I'd rather just not show up while you're there. Now, Angry Mary is one of the first people I met in this town. I met her within my first week and a half or 2 weeks of being here. And she was kind of nice at the beginning, kinda. She put on way too much makeup though. But she was trying to be pleasant, trying to be happy. Yeah. Now, when did I notice the change in her behavior? When she stopped wearing makeup. She got a shitty attitude and just stopped wearing makeup. That's part of her routine. See, that's something that y'all don't notice about people who are severely depressed. Fucking ambulances. Wouldn't it be nice if people would stop getting fucking hurt, stop getting injured, stop dying, stop overdosing on fucking fentanyl? Anyway, I gotta go get some gasoline. I'm go get something to eat. I might go down and check on them cars, depending on if I get a message back or not. Also, there's a thing about camaraderie and also workspace. Safe workspace. A lot of people work with a shitty employee who gets complained about by a customer, but that employee doesn't want to speak up because they don't want their employees to think less of them or to have that shitty fucking attitude with them every goddamn day. It's very similar to Shannon Alvarado and her alcoholism. She'll treat Rick like shit every fucking day because she's an alcoholic. And it's all right. She's allowed to. How dare he say anything about it? She's an adult. She should be allowed, and so on, and so on, and so on. Now, I don't know what Mary's attitude is over. But I know that a guy is not going to get away with that. None of the guys who work there act like that. None of them. Jay is short. I don't mean short in stature. I mean he's very short with his words. He's going to be direct. He's going to say it monotone. He might be an angry person. He might be autistic. And most of you, when you hear the word autistic, you think bad things. Like he's retarded and things like that. No. Just fed up with everybody's shit. He wants to go to work, do his job, and go home. When he has to go out and talk to people that are not doing the right thing, taking advantage of the business or vandalizing shit or whatever it happens to be, that's not something he wants to do. You can tell in the tone of his voice that he doesn't want to. He doesn't raise his voice at them, though. He talks to them like they're people. He's just direct. And, of course, that makes him an asshole. But he's not an asshole. He's not an asshole. He's direct. What's wrong with him being direct? We need more of that. We need more people that aren't sugarcoating bullshit. Now, I refuse to hate Angry Mary. Whatever her problem is, there are coworkers of hers who have tried to find out what's going on, and whether they did or not, I don't know, and it isn't my business. What is my business is that I don't like getting treated that way. The other customers don't like getting treated that way. There's some people, well, let's use a Safeway for an example. There's some people there that I was told that they're mean people. And getting to know them, I realized they're really not. And some of those people, I was told that they had done things that aren't correct. And I've actually recorded them doing exactly the things that are not correct, like the sidewalk thing. Now, that doesn't mean that these people are trying to destroy somebody's life. Like one of those guys that was there, they tried calling him in because, well, he was fine for days. But then he got drunk out there with Nick and was acting a damn fool, and they called the cops. Well, he also knew his rights as far as the walkway and thoroughfare goes. So although the cops tried to bully him into leaving, he knew his rights and he knew his shit, and they had to leave and leave him alone. Shit, I better relocate. My engine is starting to overheat. My fucking shoulder is hurting like a motherfucker. My back is fucking killing me. I'm trying not to take a shitty attitude everywhere I go. I save my shitty attitude for my car and my fucking channel. A lot of the women who bitch at me, bitch about shit that is so fucking trivial, no man is going to ask for help with it. What it comes down to is straight up fucking laziness. If you want to stop wearing makeup, that's fine. But when wearing that makeup and putting that makeup on is part of your routine, and you drop the makeup and just have a shitty attitude, it's generally an indicator that either A, you're being abused, or B, you didn't get what you wanted. And I'm not sure if you noticed here in America, but A woman not getting what she wanted is translated as abuse. She gets drunk and wants your dick and you don't give it up. You might potentially have to deal with the fact that although lots of women do stupid shit and throw themselves at dudes like $2 hookers when they're drunk, they don't want to be held responsible for that. So we get to hear I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything. Well, Garen goddamn Teed, when a man rejects you when you're drunk, you fucking remember it every time. I've seen women that were able to pull off being as drunk as they claimed they were later on. They were able to pull it off almost enough that they came across as sober. But they couldn't remember anything after having sex with an ugly dude. Meanwhile, that same woman can be so fucking completely blitzed that she can barely speak the English language and she's throwing herself at a dude like a $2 hooker. If he tells her no, what are the chances that she's going to remember the next day, that she's going to be pissed off, and that she's going to retaliate? Pretty fucking good. Women do not handle rejection well because they're not fucking used to it. When a woman puts herself out there and throws her vagina at you like a $2 hooker out of desperation because she's lonely, whose choice is it to do that? People off here, at least, seem surprised when I stop at the stopwalk and let them cross. And they wave at me like I'm the friendliest guy in the world because I let them cross the crosswalk. Obviously, I don't hate Angry Mary. Why am I calling her Angry Mary? Because she's angry all the time. And she makes sure she lets everybody know by having a shitty fucking attitude. Throwing little fucking micro tantrums. You know what that is. That's passive aggressive. Y'all sure as shit don't like it when I'm passive aggressive. You get passive aggressive with me. And then you say, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. So I'm passive aggressive back. And I go, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just doing it back. It's okay for you, then it's okay for me. Oh, it's not? Why not? What, you think because you have a vagina that you get to hit people, but they don't get to hit you back? Are you fucking crazy? Yes, you are. That is completely fucking ludicrous. Or you get a fucking shitty attitude with a customer. And then, of course, the customer has to worry about having consequences because of your shitty attitude. You're the one with a position of power there. Not every single person is out to hurt you. Not every person is trying to destroy your life. Not every person thinks that because you're a female that you're stupid. Not every person is out to fucking get you. Not every man is out to rape you. When a man tells you no, It's not the end of the fucking world. When you're rejected, get the fuck over it. You have any idea how many times I've been fucking rejected? Do I hold animosity at women for not being attracted to me? No. None of what I'm angry about has anything to do with people touching my penis. None of it. No is an acceptable answer to me. But how many women take the word no for an answer? How many women have destroyed their boyfriends' or husbands' lives because he said no? How many times have you guys come home exhausted from a long day's work? Everything fucking hurts. You just want to go to sleep, but she wants to have sex. What do you get to deal with? 3 fucking weeks of her going around to all of her friends and all of your friends and complaining that you can't get it up. You probably need Viagra. No, you can't get it up because you can't stand the fucking sight of her because you know that everything that comes out of her mouth is going to be fucking shit. We get tired of women's shitty fucking attitudes. And we're not allowed to say anything, or we get berated like we're shitty people with shitty fucking attitudes. No, we're fed up with your fucking bullshit. We're fed up with your fucking constant, non-stop goddamn bullshit. Your constant petty bullshit. Your constant throwing fucking micro tantrums. Your constant need for negative attention. Try being fucking direct. If you're hungry, say you're fucking hungry. If you're cold, say you're cold. This is what we teach men to do, and how do they get treated when they're direct? Like they're retarded? Like they don't know up from down? Like they're mansplaining? Let me tell you something. If a man breaks his leg and you're asking him why he's in a wheelchair and he tells you it's because he broke his leg, he's not mansplaining. He's being fucking direct, you dumb fucking moron. And why the fuck is it that you always remember, no matter how drunk or fucked up you are on drugs, you always remember when a man tells you no? When you're throwing yourself at a guy like a fucking cheap whore, like a $2 fucking hooker because you're drunk, you already know that if that man has sex with you, and you feel differently about it in the morning when you got a fucking hangover, that he might be going to fucking prison for rape. Moral of the story: if a woman drinks, avoid her like the plague. If she drinks at all, get the fuck away from her and stay fucking clear. She's a ticking goddamn time bomb who's gonna do stupid shit, not care about any of the consequences for others, believe that she's a pretty princess who shouldn't have fucking consequences, and she will destroy your fucking life. If you're not there to blame, she'll blame some other guy. On the bright side, she'll destroy his life instead of yours. A man's not allowed to have a shitty attitude with the person who's being abusive to him. But a woman is allowed to have a shitty attitude with everyone. It's a woman's prerogative, right? This is just one of many, many societal retarded rules that we should not be fucking following. God bless America, right? Now, obviously, I don't hate Angry Mary. I hate the way that she treats people because she's having a bad fucking day. I go in there and I do try to lighten up the mood. Do I ask her what the problem is? No, I don't fucking care. I do care about her as a human being. And if she approached me and wanted to talk about her issue, or even get help, if she's being abused and needs help stopping the abuse, if she was direct and stated that, maybe, but no, what do women do? We taught them to pout and whine and moan until we fucking give them free shit. They expect us to read their minds. We're supposed to be able to read this fucked up thing that they got in their head with a bunch of little micro tantrums, and we're supposed to magically deduce from her tantrums what it is she's trying to say. She's not trying to say anything. She's just being shitty to people and hoping they feel sorry for her for being shitty. I'm not asking anybody to feel sorry for me for being shitty. For me, being shitty is a requirement. Because as a male, if I am direct, I'm being rude. I'm an asshole. I liked every job I ever had, just so you know. Every job I ever had, I actually enjoyed the work. I just didn't enjoy idiots. When you've got a boss who's a fucking moron like David Roop, and he's all fucked up on fucking pharmaceuticals, yeah, the work is fun. Working for that jackass made it unfun. Working with Gary Jepsen was fun. Working with Rory Jepsen was fun. Hell, working with Gary was even fun. The other Gary, Gary Smith. But Gary Smith didn't pay. And then he wanted to get a shitty attitude with me when he didn't pay. Same thing with Jeff Luckdehus. On the bright side, Jeff Luckdehus is dead. He can't abuse his children or his wife ever again. He was a lot like Angry Mary, busy feeling sorry for himself and being an asshole to others as a result. If you try doing it the right way and it doesn't work and your last resort is to be an asshole, by all means. But don't start off with that. I always start off with diplomacy. When that doesn't work, I go to necessity and survival. If I had the attitude that Mary has every single day for the last 6 months, if I'd have had that attitude for one day, at most of my jobs I'd have been sent home, as some of them might have been fired. If I was like that 2 days in a row, guaranteed 90% of the jobs I had I would have been fired at. There isn't a single goddamn boss that I ever had who's going to put up with 6 fucking months of it.